Hello everyone and welcome to this video, in which we are going to play a game on the Tridora CPU. It's a simple game with ASCII graphics where you are being chased by robots and you have to make them run into each other to destroy them. I believe the original version of this game was written in BASIC and probably being played on teletypes. This version is called Chase and it was written for UCSD Pascal in 1980, maybe earlier. And we are going to port it to Tridora-Pascal. I have the source file here in the editor on my laptop. And here is the file. And now I will transfer the file to the Tridora system. So first I will connect to the serial console of the Tridora-CPU and boot the system from the SD card. I have prepared an empty volume for this project, so I will change into this volume now, and we can see it's empty. Now we are going to use a program called transfer or xfer to transfer the file over the serial console with a simple serial protocol. So I start the program directly from the system volume. Then I get this little menu here and I need to set the file name now. Then I will drop back to the Linux system and start the corresponding Python script to send the file over the serial console. And for some reason the PySerial library hangs up the serial connection, so I will get kicked out here, but we can just reconnect. Then we are still in the xfer program. We can exit with X, and here is our file. So let's take a look in the editor. That looks like our source code. But let's make a copy of that file first so that we compare the changes and to get the right file name extension. So I'll use the copy command. Now let's edit the new file. And here it is. And you can see with the correct file name extension, the syntax highlighting will work properly. So let's try to compile it. It won't work now, but at least we'll see where the problems are. And here's the first error. Unsupported set size. So yeah, we have a set of char here, and the set of char takes up at least 128 set elements if we assume 7-bit ASCII, and Tridora-Pascal supports only up to 32 elements in a set, so the size of a machine word. So set of char won't work. We need to change that. So let's take a look where this variable goodchar is used, and we can use the find function in the editor for this. And with space I skip to the next occurrence, and here it's reading a character from the keyboard and checks if it is contained in the set, So it checks if you have entered a valid character. And the same here. Here the set variable is being initialized. And that's all. We're back at the beginning. So the variable is only initialized once and it's never changed. So what we can do is we can change the type of the variable from set of char to array of char. And this will work because the in operator in Tridora-Pascal also works with one-dimensional arrays. So you can check if the character is contained in an array of char. And you can also write an array literal on the right hand of an assignment, which looks exactly like a set literal. So we only need to change the variable type, and we need to have the correct length for it so that the assignment will work. And the length is 10. So the digits from 1 to 9 and then Q. Now let's compile again. Okay, this is our next error. It doesn't like the colon character. And this is a quirk in Tridora-Pascal that comes from a speed optimization. You cannot specify a field width in the write or write line statement for char arguments. This is to make writing chars as fast as possible because it's being used very often in the I/O subsystem. But here they are using a char with a field width to print lots of spaces for formatting. So what we can do as a workaround is we make it a string with 2 spaces, and with strings you can use the field width. What I also see here is that they are using the go-to-xy procedure. And in UCSD Pascal, the go-to-xy procedure uses a coordinate origin of 0, 0. But in Turbo-Pascal, FreePascal and Tridora-Pascal, go-to-xy uses an origin of 1, 1. And this is because VT100 terminal also uses an origin of 1, 1. So we need to adjust for this, and the easiest thing to do is to create our own go-to-xy procedure, which will increment the coordinates by 1 and then call the real go-to-xy procedure. We're going to do this later. And another thing that I see here is that the keyboard mapping for the movement keys is upside down in comparison to a real number pad. This might be because the program was originally written for an ADM3A terminal, which does not have a keypad. So let's change that right now. And this is only the description that is printed here, so we can just change the text. And the real processing of key presses should be somewhere near. Further down. And here it is. So they are converting ASCII digits to numbers, so we just change the numbers here. Okay, let's have another try. And there's another space character with a field width, so let's make it a string again. And it has compiled successfully. Great, now we need to fix the go to XY procedure. So let's put our own very creatively named my go to XY procedure here before go to XY is called anywhere else. And yeah, we just call the real go to XY and add 1 to the arguments. And that's it. Now we need to change all occurrences of go to XY with my go to XY. And we can use the find function in the editor for this. After starting the search, we switch to replace mode. And then we walk through all occurrences with space and then replace, if you want, with return. So there are quite a few of them. And unfortunately, the editor does not have a replace all function. So a few more and more. And here we are back at the beginning. And I see another thing that we need to change. Here is a procedure that clears the screen. And it's using escape sequences for an ADM3A terminal. That won't work. And we can replace this with a clear screen procedure from the standard library, which also works with Tridora-Pascal and FreePascal. So let's compile again. And it worked. The game is running. Here are some instructions. As we already know, we are being chased by robots and we have to destroy them. And it's asking a number to initialize the random number generator. Let's play as beginner. And in this variant of the game, you have some random obstacles and you don't have a teleport. So it's sometimes impossible to win the round, but you can always start a new round at the same level. And sometimes it's very easy, you can just sit still, and sometimes you cannot win the round. Okay, there we have it. A game that's 45 years old, written in UCSD Pascal, running on the Tridora CPU. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day and see you in the next video.